Oh, hello! You came! Welcome, welcome. Welcome guys to my $1,400 a month apartment in Seattle. Yeah, this video is just gonna be an apartment tour, but as you can see over there is our entryway closet. We keep all of our shoes, all of our outer closets over there. If we still have extras, we just hang it on the wall. This door over here is just a closet. I have my paddleboarding stuff, I have my snowboarding stuff, my climbing stuff is tucked in over there. If you've seen my last video about the 26 things that I'm no longer buying in 2026, I've mentioned that I have way too much hobbies and I just showed you the evidence, so it should be pretty convincing now that I should not spend any more money on any more hobbies in general. By the way, I think I forgot to tell you earlier, this apartment is a 2-bed, 1-bath apartment that I share with my boyfriend, so my part of the rent is about $1,400. But make sure to stay until the end to know the full budget breakdown, as that price is just base rent. It doesn't include utilities, parking, anything extra. Let's continue with the tour. So over here, this is our one and only bathroom. I try to keep it as tidy as we can, but honestly, this is the best we could do. And tucked in over here is our laundry unit. To be honest, this is not the most advanced washer and dryer set, but I actually think I like it more than the other ones because as you can see over here, you toss the clothes in from here and I don't have to squat. But anyways, let's move on. If we keep on walking down the hallway, this is our kitchen area. Don't mind all the stuff on the floor. They're like toys for my cat, but this is my kitchen. Don't look at the stove. I still need to clean that. But to be honest, this is my favorite part about this apartment is the kitchen because of this island over here. In Seattle, if you want an island like this, the apartment is most likely going to be $3,700 and above. And this apartment that we get, the base rent is $3,200, so it's actually such a steal. There's like so many cabinets and drawers. We can put all of our stuff, and trust me, we have a lot of kitchen supplies, so the fact that we can find everything at home and yet still have a little bit of extra storage space is in itself a pretty good deal. The part that I wanted to point out is we are super lucky because when we moved to Seattle, we did not have this much stuff, but since this is our 3rd year in Seattle, a lot of the people that we knew during the first year has already left Seattle, and in turn we got inherited a bunch of stuff from others. For example, this water boiler, this air fryer, this toaster oven over here, and even this Keurig machine over here are inherited from people who has left Seattle sooner or later. So that's how we got all of our stuff. We didn't spend a lot of money for all the appliances that we have in the kitchen. Moving on over here is a shelf. I got this little cute wall art. I don't know why it's not turned on. It's also inherited from other people who left Seattle. I kind of just bought this for this video because we had a lot of junks like just around the house and I wanted to keep it tidy and looking good for the video. Most of the shelves doesn't really have much stuff in it, but we still have a lot of stuff over there that I could sooner or later move in here. Welcome to the living room, guys. I'm gonna film another video later, so this is behind the scenes setup for my videos. But I also really enjoy the living room because we have such a nice view of the Seattle waterfront over here, and over the years we also collected enough furniture to make this place look cutesy and fancy. Over here we have this new Switch 2 that we got lately, and we've been low-key addicted to Overcooked for the past month or two. And over here is the display shelf that my mom helped me put together. It's starting to look a little bit messy, but I think it's still really cute over here. This is a penguin that we won at the Richmond night market when we went to Vancouver, and over here is a painting of Seattle. I think I already mentioned it earlier, but if you don't know me already, my name is April and I'm a 25-year-old software engineer living in Seattle, and in my channel I talk about tech, about money, and about how to live an authentic life. So if you're interested in that kind of stuff, make sure to subscribe to my channel. But let's keep on moving. As you can see over here, we don't really do a good job at organizing the stuff that's behind the couch. We don't really come here. This is a feeder for my cat Emily, and this over here is a laptop for my cat Emily. It's called like a scratch pad, or it is a scratch pad, but it's so cute. So this area here is mostly for my cat and also for the things that I use to combat the love-hate relationship that I have with my cat. My boyfriend and I are both severely allergic to my cat Emily, so we have literally everything that we could to combat the cat allergy. This thing right here is a vacuum specifically for the couch and all the cloth-like items because the regular vacuum doesn't really do a good job at cleaning up the cat danders. We also have a couple air filters running around in the corners of the house. Kudos to you if you were able to spot them, or those were all installed with the intention of helping us ease our cat allergies. With that being said, over here, I call it a couch for my cat Emily. It's also a scratch pad, and I also have a Boingy sling toy for my cat that she can play around with. My mom installed it for me when she was visiting in Seattle, and I think it's pretty genius. If we come to the back side of the apartment, this, as you can see over here, is a cat litter station. And don't mind the lamp over here. We kind of like lost the cover of the lamp when we're moving into this apartment, so I kind of just had this lamp tucked in. I need to buy a cover, but it's not that big of a priority. And by the way, I'm currently using traditional litter, but I'm planning to switch to pretty litter. Cat litter is something that's like the bane of my existence. As you can see over here, we have a pretty big mat specifically for trapping the cat litter from entering into other areas of the house. But honestly, this has been so much better than when I was living in a one-bedroom myself, because I had to put a cat litter in the bathroom in the past, and the moist simply does not help. So I'm really hoping that this pretty litter in the future can help me ease the problem a little bit. My only concern is that this thing is kind of expensive. It's about $25 per bag. I don't know. Let me know in the comments if you have any tips on cat litter control or anything. It would be super helpful. Right here is our side room, or my little personal office. It's a little bit messy, so be aware. So this is my content room, and it's also doubles as a guest bedroom. And when guests are not here, this bed kind of just becomes a dumpster where I dump all my clothes. I'm not the most proud of it. But over here, we have some of the junks that I don't know where to put. For example, I have a walking pad that I bought in my other apartment. I was able to find a spot for it, so I was easily able to install it and just walk while I'm editing. Right here, I don't really have a good place to put it, so kind of just like collecting dust in the corner. And I also have a guitar over there and a sleeping bag over here that are just collecting dust. I don't really use them. Over here is my little vanity section. I have like a little vanity mirror, and whenever I do makeup, I kind of just like do it here. I really like this gadget. It's a little sunset lamp, but I use it as the backdrop for my videos sometimes when it's not as bright outside, and I really like it. This is pretty much it for this room. It's mostly an office and sometimes doubles as a guest bedroom. Let me know if you like a more detailed tour, as I have a lot of hobby items over there, and I'd love to give you a more detailed tour of this room sometime in the future. Over here is a balcony, and I'm super happy that we have a balcony here too, even though we don't use it as much as we should. Personally, my biggest use for the balcony is to just use it as a place to change the cat litter, because I don't like to get the other parts of the apartment dirty. With that being said, there's only one last room in the apartment, which is the main master bedroom. We almost always keep this door closed because we don't want the cat Emily to come in here, as we're both allergic, so this is an allergy-free zone. It's kind of messy, so just be warned. That was pretty much the end of the apartment tour, but as a financially responsible girly, I always end my videos with a full budget breakdown and some reflection questions. So here we go again. Let's first start with breaking down the budget. This apartment is $3,200, but there was a 6-week free rent promotion when we signed the lease, and that was why after the discount, our monthly average for the 12-month lease is about $28-30 total, and me and my boyfriend split the rent down the middle, so my portion is about $1,415 per month. But rent is not the only fixed cost that I have, so here's some other parts of the fixed costs. Let's start with electricity. Of course, this varies by usage, but moved here for about 2 months, and our two bills are $94 and $125. That averages to be about $110 per month for electricity. Split down the middle, it's about $55 per month. Next up is Wi-Fi. I don't know who our Wi-Fi carrier is, since Kevin did all the Wi-Fi setup, but he did tell me that we pay about $50 per month for Wi-Fi, which means that it's $25 per person per month. The next thing is utility. I wish I could give you an answer on utility, but so far we haven't really paid utility, since utility tends to lag a little bit, so I actually have no idea how much this portion is. I will keep you posted. The next part is parking. 2 years ago, I purchased my first car ever. I'm still doing the financing of that, but I am the sole owner of my car, so because of that, I also pay for the parking fully. The parking at this apartment is kind of crazy. It's $300 a month. I wish it could be cheaper. Honestly, this is like a pretty big chunk of my fixed cost. For a brief second, I was contemplating if I should park my car at some other parking garages around Seattle that is a little bit cheaper, but I think it's just so convenient to have a car right downstairs that I don't have to drag all my snowboarding stuff, my camping gear, or any of the stuff that we bought from Costco across the street. So instead, having a parking garage that's directly attached to the apartment is actually so convenient that I decided to swallow the pill and pay the $300. Next up is pet rent. I actually don't really spend any money on pet rent, since this cutie here is an emotional support animal, and the law in Seattle goes that for any ESAs, apartments cannot charge pet rent or pet deposit. And the last category I wanted to go over is renter's insurance. Me and my boyfriend, we both have to get our own separate copy of renter's insurance, and for my portion, I pay about $10 every month, which isn't too bad. I also never had to use it for anything, but that brings our total fixed expense to about $1,805 per month. And now let's head into the reflection questions. I have 3 questions for this video. The first one is, what are some of the things that I really like about the apartment? Well, first of all, I really enjoy my kitchen island. For $2,800, you can't find anywhere else in Seattle that comes with an island. I love cooking and I have a lot of cooking supplies, so having an island just makes things so much easier. And that means we also don't have to own a dining table at all. As I mentioned earlier, I also really enjoy the view. In fact, having a view is something that I value a lot, since I just really like staring out and people watching from my apartment, and it was one of the criteria that almost made it to like a must-have when I was looking for the apartment. Moreover, the third thing that I really like about the apartment is the amenities that it comes with. I don't think I want to include videos of the amenities. We have like 3 pool tables, we have some conference rooms, some lounges, some co-working spaces, and I know a decent amount of people who host events at those common rooms. When my parents came to Seattle to visit me, they really enjoyed the pool table. They were like down there playing pool almost every day that they're in Seattle. Oh, I forgot to mention, we also have like a pretty decent gym that comes with a weight section and a lot of cardio equipment, so I am pretty happy about all the amenities that we have in this apartment. Now, the second question for the reflection is about things that I don't like. For one, I don't really like the ceiling because you can't attach anything to the ceiling. I bought this IKEA lamp over here, but the reason that they're dangling on the pillar right now is because when my parents came, we tried to install it to the ceiling and we tried drilling holes, but it didn't make much success because the ceiling is made of concrete and you can't really drill any holes in it. So because of that, we don't really have a choice besides kind of like dangling my lamp over there on a random pillar in this apartment. The second thing that I don't really like is the management company that owns this apartment. If you're in Seattle or just anywhere in the States in general, avoid GREYSTAR at all costs. I'm not gonna go too much into how exactly GREYSTAR is not a good company. I'm sure if you go on Reddit or Google reviews or any stuff out there, they're pretty bad. When we first signed the lease, we signed the lease with GREYSTAR, but what I'm really grateful is that maybe a month or 2 after we moved in, they actually changed management company to a different one, and they are pretty decent and I do like them. So that makes my living experience here a lot better. Now, the third reflection question is how I feel about the budget breakdown. I typically only think about my fixed expense in terms of base rent, so hearing $1,800 for everything included feels a little bit expensive for me, but I really have to acknowledge that it's pretty good, especially here in Seattle. I even spent less than my first apartment back in Seattle, which I also shared with a roommate, and I used to pay $1,550. Actually pretty surprised that I could save so much more money per month by choosing the right apartment and paying a reasonable amount for rent so that I can save the difference in the future. I'm still young and making a decent amount of money. My rent right now is actually the lowest amongst every people that I know right now, and our amenities is also not the worst, so I'm pretty happy about that. But that was not the case before, because before I moved into this apartment, I used to spend $2,700 per month in fixed costs when I used to live in a 1-bedroom apartment by myself. So essentially, by moving into this apartment, I'm able to save $1,000 per month on fixed costs, and I'm super proud of that. So in the next video, I'll be talking about how I was able to save an extra $1,000 per month in my fixed costs, what to look out for during apartment hunting, and how to get a good price. So if you're interested about that video, make sure to subscribe to my channel so that the algorithm can push that video to you when it comes out. And in the meantime, a couple months ago, I did my first net worth reveal. So if you're interested in that, you can also check it out over here. And I'll see you next week with apartment hunting hacks and tricks. Bye!